Hola, estudiantes. Hoy vamos a hablar de los pronombres en español. Today we're going to talk about subject pronouns in Spanish, and this material can be found in the book on page 82. Today's lesson is going to be very important because we can't move to the next step until we have learned what subject pronouns are and how they are applied. Subject pronouns. The subject of a sentence tells who is doing the action of the sentence. In other words, the verb in the sentence, who is doing the action of that verb, is called the subject. A pronoun is a word that we use to replace a noun. For example, Gregorio escucha música. Gregorio is the noun, escucha música. Escucha is the verb. Gregory listens to music. Or Ana canta y baila. Ana is the noun. Canta, sing. Y baila are the verbs. Anna sings and dances. You also use subject pronouns, I, you, he, she, we, they, to tell who is doing an action. The subject pronoun replaces the people's names. So the pronouns replace the names of the people doing the action. Instead of saying Gregorio escucha música, you might say él escucha música. And you said he instead of Gregorio. He listens to music. Ana canta y baila. Ella canta y baila. It becomes she listens, sings, and dances instead of Ana sings and dances. You replace Ana's name with a pronoun. Here are all the subject pronouns in Spanish. I'd like for you to have notes on these and make a chart, and the chart should look just like this. You don't have to have the squares going around the box, but just make the line down the middle and this line and that line, almost like a tic-tac-toe, but we just don't have the line that would go here. And write in the subject pronouns for each Spanish subject pronoun. Yo is I, tú is you, and that is the informal you. Remember that we learned earlier when you're speaking to someone informally, you use the word tú for you. And when you're speaking to someone formally, that you would normally say sir, matter, Mr., sir, madam, ma'am, Mr., Mrs., then you use usted to those people. Él is he. Notice the accent mark on the E to let you know that it is he and not the. Ella is she. And moving up to the next column, nosotros and nosotras. That means we. Nosotros is the masculine form if it were just a group of males. Nosotras is the feminine form if it were just a group of females. Or if it's a mixture of females and males, then you would say nosotros. So nosotros stands for we or us. Vosotros is used only in Spain, and we're going to talk about that later. I only want you to write in your box ustedes, which means you, formal. Write in here that it actually means you all. So when you're speaking to someone, or in this case, anybody, anytime you're saying you all, you're going to use the formal. You always use the formal, and that's the only way to do it, unless you're in Spain and you use vosotros. So in Latin American countries, you're just going to use ustedes for every time you're saying you all, which is equivalent to what we say in the South, y'all. Okay, the way to say y'all in Spanish is ustedes. Y'all is the pronoun. Ellos and ellas, they and they again. Ellos, they is if it's a group of males, you're saying they about. And ellas is they feminine, just a group of girls. If you're talking about they and it's a group of both, then you will use the masculine ellos.